What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right. I love it, man. I love it whenever I make a bearish video and we're up a whole what is it, 1.5%? No, we're up more than that, 1.5%. I love it because even though even though I was bearish at the absolute tip of the high here, and I called for us to go lower. And even though I did not brag about it at all, at the lows, at all, I just continued on with business as usual. Now that we're up 1.5%, dramatically lower than where we were here from 87K, we're down to 85K now. Uh, now the haters are coming out, the trolls are coming out to say, haha, inverse C-Zar at it again. Yeah, you got me good. You got me really good. We are finding resistance at prior areas of resistance. We haven't retraced this move at all. We have subpar volume on a very insignificant move up. You got me so good, man. I don't know how I can show my face on this channel. We are finding resistance at prior areas of support. Prior areas of support, prior areas of resistance, and we likely will continue to drop. We are not done going lower until we break above 91K. I'm maintaining that position. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I've never been wrong in my life. I'm always right. I'm just absolutely perfect. But maybe I could be wrong, right? That's a joke, guys. Come on. I've been wrong plenty of times. I'm not that vain, right? I'm not that egotistical like some people who get excited on a 1.5% pump. I don't like to rub even whenever I'm right. I don't care to rub it in anybody's face. I'm going to carry on with business as usual. I always think that the best celebration ever in, if you watch American football, that the best celebration that I've ever seen in the end zone is whenever they score and they go back to their bench. They go back to the line of scrimmage, or they go back to their huddle for the extra point kick or whatever, right? Whenever they score, it's no big deal and they run off. That's class, right? That's something that I learned in sports myself. I don't know. I don't think that there's any. It's cool to celebrate, but when you celebrate, what it tells me in my mind is you had doubts. You had doubts about yourself. So now you're relieved that your doubts were not realized, and that your hopes and your dreams were realized. I don't have any hopes and dreams, guys. There's no hopes and dreams here, right? It's technical data. We're finding resistance at key areas. Why did I not celebrate? Because what's the point of celebrating? We tipped the golden ratio and moved back down to the 382. That's a very common move. And I even did say that is pretty damn common from the golden ratio to the 382 to move back up. And if we find resistance at the 0.5, that will only validate what I've been saying, is that we're going lower. And I feel like I'm by saying these words, talking like this, it's like me saying, like, I was right, I was validated. I don't care. Being right, being wrong, it doesn't matter. If that matters to you, you're telling me that this is your first time in a bull market. That's what that's telling me. You're telling me that you're an amateur, you're a novice, and you don't know what you're talking about. And that's fine, because the only people that care about being right or being wrong are amateurs and novices. I used to care about being right whenever I started out, right? It's not an insult saying that you're an amateur or novice. It's a fact, right? I mean, it's what it is. It's okay to be an amateur. It's okay to be a novice. It's just not okay to act like you know something if you are one of these things, right? You should learn, humble yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to encourage good behavior, even from the bad eggs. I want you all to make money. I don't want anybody to lose money. And if you're getting excited about a 1.5% pump and you think that means something, you guys, you gotta get with the program here, man. It's very common, very common. It's getting to work now from a high to a low. Whenever you reject your golden ratio, it's very common to do one of two things. You either bounce off the 382 and continue, or bounce off the 0.5 and continue. But if you're not going to continue, you're not going to do either of these things. It's also very common to bounce off the 382, find resistance off the 0.5, and then continue down, right? You might even find support at the 236, resistance at the 382, and then continue your way down. Find resistance at the 236, and then continue your way down. You see what I'm saying? It's a stair step of events that's coming. I don't believe that this is going to lead to anything more significant, but before we go to what I think is going to happen, let's pretend it does. Let's pretend that we go up more, okay? And as I'm saying that, we went up a whole $2. I'm shaking in my little bare boots here, you guys. If we were to go higher, from a high to a low, from a high to a low, again, getting this back on here. The next target area, first off, would be the golden ratio. So that would be at about the same high at 87.5K. Could we go beyond that? Well, to be fair, going from the golden ratio and up through the 0.5, if you close today above 85.35K, if you close above $85,350 today, there's a good chance you do return to 87,500, and there's even also a decent chance that you return or continue to grow to 90,800 or beyond. You really could see this target area. Two things need to happen for this target area to come online, right? For this to be an acceptable area to consider, okay? One, close above the 0.5. Two, close above the 618. If you fail to do either of these things, you will not go to this land here. And I will, absolutely I will, flip bullish if we close above $87,500. If we can close above there and not close right below there, not find resistance, not get some kind of double top set up, then yeah, I'll flip bullish momentarily bullish to here. Just as I flipped bullish whenever we were breaking above this on a 4-hour basis here, I flipped bullish momentarily to here, right? There's nothing wrong with that. People have a problem with that, but I don't get it, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with changing your mind and going with the flow. In fact, what there is something wrong with is digging your heels in the dirt, acting like you're some kind of god or technical guru and that everything you say has to be right. No, you need to be able to accept that you're wrong. In this game, in fact, if you do technical analysis and you're the best technical analyst in the world, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong a lot. It happens. It's just inevitable. So if you can't accept that, a lot of people, and this is where the novices get it wrong, right? They think that technical analysis or any kind of analysis is a measure of being right versus being wrong. But it doesn't matter. You don't know. Anybody can know how to be right. That's easy. Knowing how to be wrong is hard. It's really hard. And it's kind of counterintuitive and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's hard to do anyways because people just have a hard time admitting they're wrong in the first place. But when you're good at being wrong in this game, that's when you'll really start to make money. It's not when you're good at being right, right? You're good at being right. You might make money for as long as you're right. You might get 10 trades in a row, 20 trades in a row. Hell, I've been there. And then that one time you're wrong, if you don't know how to be wrong, you're going to lose it all. You're going to lose it all, man. Knowing how to be wrong is much more valuable than knowing how to be right. So if I'm wrong, knowing that I'm wrong, if we close above here, then we'll call for this. And that's fine. That's totally fine. If we close above 91K and we don't actually reject off of it, like I would expect we do if we were to go up here, which I'm not actually expecting, I'm just considering this as a possibility. If we do, then I would accept my whole notion of going below here was wrong too. And boo-hoo that up here, while I flipped bullish right here momentarily, and then I continue the bullish thought because we close up here, boo-hoo that I was saying we're going to go to 70K down here. But I don't care. I missed a little sliver in the greatness to come. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. You don't want to, it's not about, ideally you want to catch the whole move, yes, but you want to be flexible enough to where you at least catch the most of the move, the majority of the move, right? That's what you really want. And man, just, yeah, my expectations genuinely are that we probably don't go up. I think we're going to find resistance here. I want to look in the charts. I want to look at the technicals and see if we can validate that. Okay, we have 8 minutes and 24 seconds left in this 4-hour candle. We're moving up with subpar volume. It's like half of what you'd expect to see on an average volume area. You're finding resistance now at prior areas of resistance. People are clearly bullish. I've seen it on x.com. I've seen it in my YouTube comments. I've seen it in a couple discords that I'm in. People are bullish about this 1.5% day up. That just means they're bored. People are bored. They're itching, chomping at the bit for this thing to move up, and oftentimes it's moments like this without any volume backing it up that lead to despair, absolute despair. We are here in the 4-hour time frame. If we close here, we're at an area here where we found resistance before, and that led us ultimately down lower, right? So I think, and if we were to see a move like this, we would go below the 382. We would likely not stop until 80,600. Now let's talk about the downside, okay? You close below $80,581 on a daily basis, not wicking. It's the same rules for the downside as is for the upside. I'm not going to be celebrating at all if we just wick below here. I'm not even going to celebrate if we close below here because who cares? That's for amateurs, man. That's for novices. If we're going down, that's for people who have doubts about themselves and rely on hope and not logic and just conviction in their actual abilities here. That's not me. I have a lot of conviction in my abilities. I'm not. You'll never catch me being like one of those guys. I'm not a I told you so guy. And the only reason that I'm actually talking about any of my correct calls at all right now is just to more try to help connect the dots for some of the haters out there. I want you to make money too, but you're not going to make money. You're not going to make money if you rely on this being right versus being wrong game. You're not going to. I want everybody. I want the haters. I want the lovers. I want all the in-betweeners. I want you all to make money. I don't want to see anybody lose money because that's not what we're here for. We're here to make money. I don't care who you are. But if we close a day below $80,581, it becomes basically inevitable at that point that we will in fact go below the slow. There is a slight chance that you could find support somewhere in this area, and if you do and you happen to get back above the 236, we'll talk. Okay, we'll talk. Maybe you do have a double bottom going on at that point, but so even then it's pretty validated. It's pretty convincing. I would say you have like a 70% chance or more to go below the slow once you close below the red line, but it's not 100%. 30% chance or so is still a good chance that you could recover, but likely even if you close below here, you would return here. Maybe you get a double bottom, maybe, but that's your best hope, right? And likely it doesn't happen. So my thoughts are close below 80,600, 80,580. Hell, close below 80,500 if you want to just round down a little bit. You do that, and it's very, very extremely likely that the next target area that we encounter is about $74,000 to $69,000, right? 73.8K, 70,500, 68,000, something in that area, anything and everything in between. I think that we very much likely will find support somewhere between 73 and 70K. I'm leaning toward targets that are right around 72K or just below 72K, right in that area, kind of in between that 70 to 73K area right there. That's my thoughts, okay? And then once we do that, we will likely begin our slow configuration that will lead into a fast ascent eventually. Probably sometime in April, we will start to really see some life come back in this thing. And then May will be a really good month. And then June will be the month that we top off. Or May will be the month that we top off. It depends. And when I say top off, I don't mean the end of the cycle. I just mean like we topped off here momentarily. We topped off here momentarily, but we still went higher, and we're going to go higher at this one too. The next stop, I believe, is anywhere from, like, realistically, being real with myself, 140K to 175K. But what I'm expecting is something that is around 175K, 170 to 175K. That's my target area, specifically 173. But it's very possible we could stop lower. You could stop at 160. You could stop at 140. I don't think that we do. Why are you saying this? What makes you think we're going to go there? You're just using your eyeballs and guessing. Well, to be fair, we actually can't use this fib because it's incomplete. So I'm not gonna use this fib. Let's use the halving fib. Okay, high to low, and we can see that here we have a 143K area at the 2618. We're in the deep extensions already. It would make sense that we stop there. Okay, cool. If we hit the money zone, that's 160K to 175K, which is a more appropriate area in my opinion anyways. It's the color orange because that's the color of money, baby. That same area. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Nope, we're good. That same area, 173K, it lines up very well with the top of that money zone right there, right? It lines up perfectly right there. So I really do think 174, we're looking at this for what it is too, right? This fib for what it is. What do I know? I've been doing technical analysis for 9 years, and the Fibonacci retracement tool is my bread and butter. It's what I literally like grew up on in the technical analysis world, okay? Hold on, guys. Consolidating like this at the 1272 for this long, even though yes, we broke down inevitably, and then likely what we're going to do is find support at these highs and not even touch the 100 area. We could, but even if we do touch it, it's fine. All this stays true. Consolidating in this area, you guys, almost always, I'm talking about 90% of the time, y'all. 90% of the time. This isn't just a made up thing. This is something that I've observed over 9 years now. It's very likely that the only place you're going to stop at is the golden ratio. It's very likely. And that's why even at the highs here, this was the next high that we were calling for, because you consolidated for so long. And I'm a bit surprised it even came down, because normally when you consolidate like this, you don't move down. You just break through. But hey, you're still in this overall consolidation phase. It's still fine. It's still gravy. 174, 173K is the likely target area. And that's all I got for you guys, all right? A little bit lower, a little bit lower. If we go up a little bit, cool, but I'm not impressed, and my thoughts are genuinely we probably do come down today. That's probably the high of the day, and we probably do continue to come down today. If we go up higher, cool. We can talk about higher prices than this after we close above the golden ratio, which is right at the tip of this line. Until then, it's very likely we see a double top. I'm under the impression that we don't go higher than this high. I'm under the impression right now that we don't even go above this, but I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. If we look at the 1 hour RSI, you're overbought. You're overbought. The last time you were overbought, you were here. You have hidden bearish divergence, lower highs, higher highs. Not good. You're putting in more effort here. You have a higher high in your 1 hour and just barely higher high, but a higher high nonetheless, and you've got less results. Look at what it did last time. You saw this kind of move. Look at that, and look at how weak this is. You telling me you're going to go up with this weak-ass volume? Probably not, man. You're going to go down. We'll see you at the lows. 70K to 73K, baby. Here it comes. It's going to happen over the next week, probably the next week and a half. We'll see you down there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.